Coming to you live from the Thunderdome. It's what's the name of our show? Battle Born Bourbon.
I said bourbon. This is what happens when you taste before your video.
Shut up and sit down.
Hi, and welcome to the inaugural edition of the Battle Born Bourbon show.
Yay!
Full disclosure, this is our second take, so Mike didn't have the first one rolling, so we're a little bit tipsy when we go into this, so our tasting notes may not be the same as what they initially were, so just to give you a little perspective. My name is Jeremy, this is my cousin Mike. We decided to do a bourbon tasting show because we felt that there wasn't enough of these on YouTube already.
Plus, it's a reason for us to drink.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's just more of, hey, we're going to get together and drink, so we might as well film it and do it, and maybe talk a little bit about the bourbon itself, try to impart some information that we've collected over the years in regards to doing this stuff. Yeah. So in honor of the Kentucky Derby, we have 3 different Blantons today that we are going to try. So we've got the original single barrel, which is at 93 proof. We've got the gold version, which is 103 proof. And then we've got the straight from the barrel, which is 130 proof. So in order of tasting, we're going to start with the lighter and work up to the high intensity stuff. So a little background on ourselves. I've been collecting and drinking whiskey for a couple years now. And it's become a passion of mine. It's something that I really enjoy, and I try to share it with as much people as I possibly can. That being my cousin Mike.
Yeah, I have dabbled in a few different whiskeys. Started off with Jack, tried Jameson, Irish whiskey. Found that I actually really like Scotch.
Which is an acquired taste, especially the peated stuff.
I acquired it pretty easily. It wasn't too bad for me. I don't mind it. I like it.
Yeah.
But Jeremy is starting to introduce me to some bourbon, and I am open to learn about it and what it has to offer. So this is why we are here doing this.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and start.
Right.
We've got the single barrel, so working right to left. We've already poured these. Another important point to make.
Left to right for you guys. We're starting here.
What did I say? Left to right?
Right to left.
Right to left. So
right.
Anyway, you'll figure it out. Go with the easy stuff and work your way up. You'll figure it out. Let's drink.
Yeah, let's do this. Oh.
Cheers. What do you think?
I like this one.
Better the first or second time?
It's better the second time around, for sure.
So one thing that you'll realize, and sorry,
no, go right ahead.
Is that your palate will acclimate as you go through and you're drinking bourbon. That first initial sip, and it's more important to start with the lower proof to kind of build yourself up. But even more so, as you're drinking, you'll find it a lot easier to continue. So once you get past that initial shock, you'll find that you'll have a much better experience. So, if at first you don't necessarily like it, maybe give it another sip and you just might.
Yeah. This one actually, you can tell we've been tasting, was my favorite one when we did our tasting, our trial run earlier.
Yeah.
And it does taste better the second time around. Maybe because these ones are a little more spicy for me, a little more harsh.
And there's a reason why.
Fire breath. So I'm interested to see how these are going to taste coming back into these again as well.
Yeah, spoiler alert for Mike. So sorry to let you know. But no, the Blanton's single barrel, this is a highly sought after bottle. It's available in the U.S. Typically around, retail is $55, but sometimes, upwards of $100, just depending on where you're going. We've got some local Las Vegas places that do some deals where they'll include this with another bottle. Liquor Lineup has repeatedly put this up with Cross and Caribou and Henry McKenna for around $100. So 2 really good bottles, good price point. So it can be found. It's something that's definitely worth going out and drinking and enjoying. The important note on this is that if you tried it before, it's a single barrel. So maybe that barrel just wasn't your jam. But I've tried a lot of these, and more times than not, I've really enjoyed them. They do a great job. and it's absolutely delicious. So to that point,
that's delicious.
Go
I
ahead
love that one.
finish
It's
it
so
up.
good.
One of the things that you'll notice when you first start trying this is that as far as tasting notes, you're going to come through and you're going to be like, I like it, I don't like it. Trying to train your palate to pick up on various notes and tastes and smells is something that's definitely learned. So as you initially try it, if you enjoy it, drink it. That's really what this is all about. You don't really have to be too complex about it. The other thing is that at 98, 93 proof, maybe this is just a little bit too hot for you, right? Put it on some ice. Put a couple of drops of water in it. This is definitely something that's approachable from very, with any of these bottles that you can do. Yeah. So just, you can always tinker and adjust to try and make something more palatable for you. So just know that that's an option.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the gold version. So with the gold and the straight from the barrel, both of these are not available in the U.S. You gotta go.
Yet.
Yeah, not yet. So supposedly, rumor is this is going to be available this summer in the U.S. Price point around $120. So it's a little pricey when you're talking about retail, $50, $60. But once again, you're lucky if you can find it at that price point. So hopefully it'll be available. It'll be at 120 and not more. And it's definitely something that I would recommend buying at that. Just from our first tasting that we went through. And I was lucky enough to have a friend that donated a couple bottles for us to try. And then obviously the straight from the barrel to another overseas deal, which will not be available. So we'll take what we can get here in the U.S. and with that,
cheers.
Cheers.
Still a little spicy.
Yeah.
Not as bad the second time around though.
So when Mike talks about spice, one thing to note here is that this is from Buffalo Trace's mash bill number 2. So it's got 15% rye. So you're going to have a little bit of that spice. It's still primarily corn based. It's a bourbon. But you got a little bit of that spiciness mixed in. So that's what you're going to get. And I think that's what makes it so palatable and something that a lot of people seek. And it's very highly sought after.
And when I say spice, I mean that in a good way with this one. It's very, very palatable. I enjoy it. It's nice to have that little bit of a bite to it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and the other thing is, once again, you can add a couple drops of water if you like. This, for me, is where it's at. It's perfect. It's something that when I'm looking at bourbon, where I am as far as my personal taste, I like to be around 100 proof, maybe 110. Even the higher stuff sometimes is pretty good, but usually around that 107 figure is really what catches my taste in my eye, if you will. So a lot of the bottle and bond, which has to be 100 proof or more, or the straight from the barrels, cast strength stuff is really what my jam is. That's what I'm about. So
yeah,
another drink. Okay, so last but not least in our Kentucky Derby series tasting that we have today is the straight from the barrel. As I previously said, 130 proof, so it's going to come in a little hotter. Ready for this?
Let's do it.
Yeah, still getting a lot of that caramel. I mean, you're going to find a consistent taste amongst all of these because they come from the same mash bill. So you're going to get a lot of consistencies amongst the three. Really, it's just kind of gauging what you like that's specific about this barrel versus that barrel. All of these were dumped in 2019, the fall of 2019, so fairly similar dates. You would imagine fairly similar aging patterns in that.
Yeah.
But whenever they try these, they're going to segregate the barrels based off of how they taste, right? So straight from the barrel, it's got to be some good stuff that they just pour right out, and that's it, right?
I'm going to add a little bit of water to mine.
Yes,
actually,
please do so.
Because this one is a little spicy, strong for my palate.
Yes,
as we said, I am rather new to the bourbons, so the stronger stuff is going to be a little harder to take down.
You're not going to find a lot of scotches at cast strength or higher proofs. It's just not traditionally how they're presented. I've tried a couple. I like them. So if you find yourself wanting to venture out into scotches, I mean, they've got some good stuff there too. Stay away from the heavily peated unless you've started with the lower peated. I
love the peat.
Yeah, you love the feet. That's what it smells like. So it's definitely, like I said, an acquired taste. It's something to go after. The other difference between these, and you may have noticed, is cosmetically. So you've got these bronze type toppers, and the gold obviously is in a gold set. So one of the cool things about Blantons is that every one of them has a different letter. These three are all B's, but you can see from the stave here, it starts out with the B's and it works its way across, and it's a full stride of a racing horse, right? Once you collect all of them, the B, L, A, N, T, N, O, S, you can send these in to the Buffalo Trace gift shop, and they will mount it to a stave for you and send it back to you for free. So it's something that I just recently got probably about 6 months ago, so I can attest to that. I previously thought that it was an urban legend. It is in fact something that you can do, and it's very cool that Blanton's does this for their drinkers. So it took me a while to obviously get all of the letters. One thing, it's got to be from barrels or from bottles that have been used. You can go on their gift site and buy the corks themselves, but it's got to be from a whiskey barrel, and they'll know when you send it in. So try not to cheat.
How long did it take you to achieve this?
This
amazing piece.
This was a couple of years, a lot of bartering, a lot of trading to get the bottles that I needed that had the letters. So I would suggest, if you're trying to go through this, buy as many blends as you can and then start trading, because there's a lot of people out there that are looking for different letters to try and complete their set. So definitely a worthwhile venture, if you ask me.
It looks really cool. I actually like it. All the horses, the jockeys are a little bit different. You know, I imagine that's probably synonymous with each of the letters, but it's pretty cool. I like it. I'm jealous. I'm jealous you have this.
No, one day I'll have if I can convert you to drinking this. So I would be remiss if I did not disclose, or at least acknowledge, my only racehorse affiliated glassware here. This was I inherited this from my dad, so in appreciation of my dad, I'm going to go ahead and finish off my barrel proof with in the rocks glass instead of the Glencairn glass.
Would you like some?
Finally, give me that dropper.
Yeah.
I'm going to apply a little bit of water in there.
How's that?
That's good.
That's good.
So we'll mix it up and try it again. You'll notice that glassware plays an important role in what you're drinking. So experiment. Glencairn glasses, which are addressed like this, and then a rocks glass. It's really about how it holds the smell of the bourbon and how you drink it, right? So smell is an important part of your taste. So in this, it kind of concentrates it so you get more of the flavor. This, it kind of opens it up. So I would almost recommend a rocks glass with the higher proof stuff, so you're not getting so much of the bourbon.
Much better with the water. I still got some of that spice, but it was easier to swallow, easier to palate. This one's still my favorite.
Yeah, as far as concluding notes, I don't think that any of our minds have been changed beforehand.
No.
So, Mike, this guy is his bet, and I can guarantee you, or at least I know, there is thousands of people that feel the same exact way. Blanton's is a stalwart that everybody wants. It's an absolute delicious option when choosing between bourbons, if you can find it, and you can find it at the right price point. The gold, once again, these are overseas, so it's a little harder to get. Hopefully this summer it'll be available, but this is my go-to. Absolutely delicious. Not to take anything away from the straight from the barrel, also a delicious offering, but I feel like they really hit the mark with the gold, and that's probably why they put the gold pony on top of it to signify that.
And I did like this one. This one was pretty good.
Yeah. So I think that about wraps it up. In regards to our inaugural episode, next week we'll hopefully be coming back to you with another tasting, something that's more Las Vegas themed, probably. So go ahead and check us out and subscribe.
Yeah. Subscribe, leave a comment if there's anything you guys want us to try out.
Bye-bye.
Later. Hey, go Knights, go!
Go
Go Knights, go!